the last song that we're going to play is Joy to the World. Joy to the World is in what key? We see two sharps, F sharp and C sharp, so we know that it's in D major. That's right. The time signature is 4/4, and what does that mean? It means that there are 4 beats in a measure, and the quarter note gets a beat. So for this song, we're also going to play the melody with the right hand, but we're going to combine some inversions into it. So it's kind of like the last song, but there's more of a mix between chords and melody. So D is the main melody note, and we're going to fill in a couple of notes underneath it. So in D major, we have F sharp and A, so we're gonna play that. Okay, so every beat 1 and beat 3, we are going to play an inversion where the top note is the melody note. So, and then it goes to C sharp, and this is a dotted 8th note to 16th note. So it goes, okay, so let's play with that chord inversion. So then it ends with an A here, and then we're gonna add an F sharp underneath it because D major has D, F sharp, A. So that's an F sharp there. Okay, so let's play that again. Good. And then we're gonna go to G, and then we're gonna play F sharp. That means that we also need a D and an A. And then the next note is an E, and we're gonna play an A chord underneath that. So we need an A and a C sharp. And then the next note is a D, and that is gonna be a D chord. And we're gonna play an A underneath because that's the closest. It's hard to fit more fingers. You'd have to shift your hand more. So we're just gonna play D and A. And then we're gonna have an A that follows. And then the next note is a B. And underneath that, we're gonna fill it up with a G chord. So in a G chord, it's G, B, we already have the B, and D. And then play the B again, and then C sharp, and underneath that is gonna be an A chord, so we need an A and an E, and then play the C sharp again, and then we're gonna play a D, and a D chord that fills up underneath it, so we need an F sharp and an A. Good, and then play the D again, and then the D with the D chord, and then C sharp, E, A, and then A, and then underneath that A, we're gonna have a D chord, so F sharp and D, and this is that dotted 8th note again, so, and then G, F sharp, D, and then fill in that D chord underneath that D, and then C sharp, E, A, and then the A, we're gonna have the F sharp and D underneath to fill in that D chord. And then that's a dotted 8th note. And then we're gonna have a 16th note, G. And then F sharp, and then F sharp again, but we're gonna fill it with a D chord. So D and A. And then another F sharp, and then another F sharp. And then make sure you're on your second finger. And then you're gonna have 2 16th notes. F sharp, G, A, and then underneath that we're gonna fill it up with a D chord, so D and F sharp. And then G, F sharp, those are 16th notes. Underneath this E, we're gonna have an A major chord, so we need an A and a C sharp. And then we're gonna play an E again, E, and then E again. And this is gonna be a 16th note and another 16th note F sharp. We're gonna have a dotted quarter note, and G is the melody, and underneath we're gonna have an E. And then 2 16th notes, and it's gonna be F sharp, and then E, and then D, D, B, A. This is a dotted 8th note again, and then followed by a 16th note. F sharp, G, and then that's the melody note on the F sharp. We're going to fill it up with a D chord, so there's gonna be a D and an A. And the next chord is an A, and E is on top. So So that means we need an A and C sharp. And then we're gonna end with D on top and a D major chord, so F sharp and A. All right. So let's try playing the right hand through. I know that's a bit difficult, but we're gonna play it for 4 verses, okay? So hopefully at the end, we'll be a bit more familiar with it. We're going to add in the left hand, and we're just gonna do single notes again. The focus is the right hand, and it's just gonna be the root position. So if you see a D, you play a D. If you see a G, you play a G. If you see an A, you play an A, okay? So that first chord is F sharp, A, D, and our left hand is gonna be D. Okay, ready, go. So notice I added in a couple of pulsing Ds. It just felt a bit empty, so you know, whenever you feel like you want to add in another note, as long as it's that same bass note that's written there, you can do that. All right, let's play verse 2. Good. Verse 3. Very good. So notice I actually played an octave there instead of a single note. So you can feel free to flesh that out as well. You can play an octave, you can play a 1-5-1, right? Okay, so let's try this time playing either an octave or 1-5-1 in the left hand for the final verse, because it is very triumphant and we want to end with a bang. Ready? Go.